Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of Random Class Generator for Battlefield 4. Today we have a very interesting class, a little bit of a mix, but we'll see how this rolls, let's see how we go with it, see how it works out, and yeah, let's see how it goes. So today is episode number 8, and we have the RFB with the Recon class. So the RFB is a DMR. DMRs can be equipped with any class, of course, just like shotguns and carbines. So yeah, let's see how this how we got this set up. We got a 4x ACOG, the American ACOG. Really like this ACOG. I find it much better than the Russian and the Chinese ACOG I think they have. I just prefer the sight on it. It's just much more clearer and easier to aim with it, and I much prefer it. We have the tactical light, which is where you aim down sight. This light comes on, and for a DMR, of course, you're always going to be aiming down sight, but it's a DMR. You're not going to get in close range, it just ain't going to happen. And we also have the heavy barrel. This is going to be pretty useful for a DMR because you're going to be aiming down sight a lot. And this is what's going to make your aim down sight accuracy better, and that's what you're going to need because it's a DMR, you're aiming down your sight a lot. You're going to need this, can be fairly important. Then you've got the angled grip, which generally just sort of takes out the negatives of the heavy barrel, which is like first shot recoil and things like that. And yeah, helps improve that, so the gun will kick up less when you fire it. And first shot recoil, of course, is always going to be really important on a DMR because it's a single fire weapon. Of course, this is what's going to happen. It's going to kick up every time. It's going to help reduce recoil. Going to be really useful, and we're going to need it. So yeah, not bad attachments. Overall, I'd rate those attachments pretty decent out of 10, so not too shabby. For the secondary, we got a pretty interesting secondary. We got the Shorty 12G. Now, the Shorty 12G is a shotgun for a secondary class. Yeah, that's right, a shotgun. You can run a free shotgun class setup if you really want to. Go assault, pick a shotgun, pick the secondary shotgun of some type, like the mass, and then just pick the Shorty 12G as your backup. There you go, shotgun central, there you go. One day I might do a video on that, but not right now. Let's move away from that. So this had no optic, a green laser sight, and a modified choke. The optic means I can't aim down sight at all. If I don't have an optic, I can't aim down sight. It's just the game just doesn't allow me for some reason. So I have to hip fire wherever I go. The laser sight, of course, is going to really help with the hip fire. I'm going to tighten it, make it better for me. So that's pretty good. Going to be more accurate with the hip fire. But then we have the modified choke. Well, I don't want this on here. It reduces the hip fire. I mean, come on, I don't need a modified choke. This thing is hip fire only. It's pointless for me. It doesn't work, isn't going to help me at all. So, yeah, that's pointless. Moving into actual gun specs for the RFB, look at 260 rounds per minute, which is generally quite average for the DMRs, and nothing out of the ordinary, but nothing amazing or poor or anything like that. Just kind of average. That's what you're looking at. 600 meters a second, that's generally pretty average as well. Not bad speed, but not amazing. It's alright, it's not too bad. I mean, with a DMR, you're not going to be hitting targets much further than 300 meters, to be fair, because it's going to get pretty tricky and the bullet drop's going to be hard to be able to deal with. Looking at about 21 bullets in the magazine, which again is fairly average. This gun is pretty average all around. I mean, it's just smack bang in the middle, and the same with 21 bullets in the magazine as well. Just smack bang in the middle. But here's the one bad thing. It's got the second highest reload of the lot. Yeah, I mean, it takes 2.5 seconds to reload if you've got bullets left, and it goes up to 3.2 with an empty magazine. 0.7 seconds, that's ridiculous. A ridiculous increase, okay? So that's not good. You definitely want to try and not leave any bullets left over in this gun, otherwise you're going to get yourself fucked. Overall, in comparison to other DMRs, it's not terrible, but it's not amazing. It's just alright or okay. I mean, like, it doesn't really excel in anything at all. Like, you just look at it and go, yeah, I'd love to use that weapon just for that one specific stat because it's really good at it. Isn't good at any stat that really matters a lot. So yeah, I mean, if I was to compare it to another DMR, I'd honestly be looking at a Scar H. It's pretty much got very similar stats overall, like the 3-shot kill thing and things like that. I think the only thing it's varying differences is I think maybe bullet velocity and reload time, which makes the Scar H SV a lot better. So yeah, in terms of other DMRs, it's alright, it just sits there. I mean, it's miles better than the QB8 or whatever it's called. That thing is just, yep, that's definitely the worst DMR. But yeah, moving on from that. So what were the good points about this gun? Well, we got some pretty decent attachments. The ACOG, as I mentioned before, is pretty fairly solid. I really like it. It's the American ACOG. It looks good. I can aim good with it. I feel accurate with it. I really like it. It just seems to feel nice to use on the gun. The tactical light, as I said before, generally I don't like the lights, but this light is okay. It's probably the second best barrel attachment you can get. Not barrel attachment, under guard attachment, whatever it is, like the laser sights, whatever. It's probably the second best one of those, apart from maybe a laser sight or nothing at all. So yeah, that kind of comes down to personal preference, but it's almost like you have to have a flashlight on it. Tactical light all the way. The heavy barrel, that's pretty good attachment, probably the best attachment of the lot. The only bad thing is of course the first shot recoil, but apart from that, they're really damn useful with the DMRs, and the heavy barrel should always be used with the DMRs. Trust me, it's the best way to use them. Boost your aim down sight accuracy, you're always going to be aiming down sight with this gun, that's the way to roll. Angled grip, as I said before, negates some of the problems with the heavy barrel, so yeah, that's a pretty good attachment as well. The shorty 12G, you're going to be hit firing a lot with this bad boy. It's the only way to get kills with it. I fucking destroyed with the shorty 12G. I mean, I never used this thing before, and in the time I used this setup, I got like 40 kills. I got like 40 kills with this thing. I never touched it before. It is really good. I'll talk more about it in playstyle in a little bit. The only bad thing about this one is the modified choke. It's not really going to help me at all, to be fair. So yeah, I mean, that's the one bad thing about this setup really, is the modified choke and the tactical light and things like that. So overall, not too shabby. I would like an attachment for the shorty 12G, but apart from that, not too bad. On a side note, the shorty 12G only takes buckshot, no flag, fresh air or any of that shit. So that's what we're going to deal with. Another interesting fact about the shorty 12G is that it levels up your shotguns as well. So if you're struggling to get the shotguns like I did, it took me like 100 levels to get all the shotguns unlocked. There you go, shorty 12G will definitely help you out if you want to use a secondary or something similar to that. It's the same with the mass and things like that as well. So what kind of playstyle are you going to want with this? Well, you're going to want to hold up in a certain location somewhere and trying to rain down death from your enemies. It's the best way to work. You're using the recon class, so you have plenty of attachments that can help you out, like the tugs, the mav, the suave, C4, claymores, spawn beacon, all that kind of shit, so you can remain in the area pretty secure. I mean, you can slap down a spawn beacon and some C4 to trap people, you can slap down a tugs and C4 to kill people, or claymore on the tugs, something like that. Fortified position, protect yourself, make sure you can get back there, and be good. Use the map to scout around and see if you can see some enemies you can see at range, and then try and pick them off because you spotted them, or your teammates can see them and try and kill them. The Recon's got some really good kits for finding out other enemies, where they are, and trying to kill them. That's the best point of the Recon. It's not a sniper class. Sniper doesn't exist in Battlefield 4. Sniper makes no sense in Battlefield. I mean, you're just sitting long range and not helping anyone. Particularly in Conquest and Rush and things like that. It's a Recon class. Use it to defend a point, secure a point, stop people pushing up on other objectives like I have done in some of these clips in the back here. The class isn't really used for rushing. You cannot push up close to people that often. The shorty 12G is going to save your ass a lot. You're going to need it. Someone comes up to you on your position, they got past the C4 and the claymores and the tugs and all that shit. Whip out the shorty 12G. Sometimes there is a few problems with the shorty 12G, like a lot of other shotguns. When you're trying to kill people with it, it's frustrating. Sometimes you feel like you put the hit or two down on them, but they're not dead. It's really annoying. Really frustrating, can really get on your nerves. Sometimes I put like 3 or 4 shots into people, they wouldn't die. I think I have that in one of the clips in here. But yeah, really frustrating gun sometimes, but a really good gun. Well worthy of a backup. I'm not sure if I'd place it with another pistol or not, maybe something like the M93R, the J18 if I really wanted to. But yeah, in comparison to pistols, it's pretty unique and pretty interesting. So in terms of playstyle, you just want to hold up somewhere, keep people away from your position and stop them pushing up on your teammates, pushing up on yourself. It's the only way to it really works. For example, I use the Lumfini Garden sort of like train tracks to try and like cover and block them pushing up on like D and try and push them back off C and A and things like that. I'm trying to stop them like taking our gamey flag, which the gamey flag is the flag nearest to your base. It's called the gamey because that's the flag you're going to take every time you spawn in. So yeah, that's what you want to do, that's what you want to try and do, and that's how you want to utilise yourself and things like that. Overall, in terms of other DMRs, like I said before, it's average, it's not the best, it's not the worst, it's alright. I'd much rather something like the Scar H or the Mark 11 mod. So yeah, it's overall comparison. I try and avoid attachments like the suppressor, which is going to reduce your bullet velocity. In fact, in terms of overall attachments, they're actually pretty good, and I would kind of aim for these sort of attachments because that's the way I think they just work the best, and I just think they're good for the class and the weapons that have been picked overall. Of course, I would change a few things like I mentioned earlier, but generally overall, not too shabby. So, what do I think in terms of overall? In terms of overall in the entire collection, the pistol, not the pistol, the secondary, the full gun, the attachments, all that. Well, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Why have I given it a 6 out of 10? Well, I mean, there is a few shortcomings that do fuck it up. You can't push in close range, you have to stick back at medium range. The class doesn't have ammo or health, which I think is really important and useful. And you're looking at things like the shorty 12G sometimes fucks you in close range. But if you look at my scale, I mean 10 is average, this thing is above average, so it's not bad, it's decent, you can do well with it. But it's hard to get long and consistent kill streaks that last time and time and time, like you can with an assault rifle or LMG or carbine or something like that, because it's sort of tricky and it's not really that versatile for all kinds of situations. That's the bad thing about it, it isn't a versatile class, and it's going to be a bit tricky to get used to and use if you never tried a DMR before. So overall, 6 out of 10, not bad, would try again. I think there are definitely are better DMRs. This one sort of sits in the middle. It's the first DMR you get, so what do you expect? It's not going to be anything particularly amazing, but it's not particularly anything bad. It's just alright. And the class overall is better than average, not bad, would recommend. It definitely was better than the Sky H loadout I got, which had the suppressor, and that was really fucking annoying. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you later, and hopefully have another episode soon, so goodbye.